Hi everyone, Peter Liciaga here, and I thought I'd go live before I pressed on with my day. A little behind. I wanted to come on a little bit earlier for lunch, but I was busy. I was on phone calls, had meetings, had a great session earlier this morning visiting business and just working some videos for them. So very exciting day indeed. Hi everyone, Peter Liciaga here, your Mount Laurel martial arts guy. Of course, a master instructor of Donato Karate Center. If you want to find out about our class schedule, go to donatokarate.com or give us a call. We'd love to hear from you, 856-235-0414. Now guys, many of you guys have been following me. You know I'm a parent. Here's a picture of me and my kids. This is a bit of a throwback. This was a fun day. I remember my wife and I, we went out with a friend of ours that was a photographer, and we just wanted to get some nice family photos. And this was one that we did in the playground looking down. It was just a fun shot. I remember the photographer was laying on their back, pointing the camera up, and we were all just having a good time that day. It was fun. You can see it in our faces. It was a lot of fun. But anyway, I'm a parent, and I have my kids here, and this throwback right over here. This throwback over here is from several years ago, because my kids right now, they're 18 and 15 years old. And so I've had my wife and I, we both had our parenting challenges and experiences, our ups and downs, just like all you parents out there. And the struggle is real, parents. We know the struggle is real. So it could get really, really tough. One of those days comes and everything's going wrong, but you still have to be a parent no matter how you're feeling, emotionally, physically, psychologically. It doesn't matter. You cannot take a break from parenting. You're a parent. That's it. You're a parent for the rest of your life, and the struggle is real. So anyway, I thought of a couple of things I could share with you guys today. These are my top 8 parenting tips for now. Just for now. The ones I came up with, I think that I think would support me today, that is important for me today, but that might change 5 minutes after I sign off with you guys. And I know you guys have your own tips, so please share that. And these are things that also works for me as an instructor at Donato Karate Center. When I teach there, these are things that I also implement there. So I think that very beneficial, not only for us parents, but for those of you out there generally dealing with people. These are basically good tips that I think you can take. So again, if you want to find out about our class schedule, go to donatokarate.com or call us at 856-235-0414. So the first one is control what you can. And more importantly, start with your response. Don't react, but respond. And this is, again, your ability to be self-aware is so important. You need to be self-aware enough to know how you're feeling when there's an upset with your children. No matter what's going on as a parent, you need to control how you respond, so that you're not reacting. And that's important. So that's my number one thing. If you are self-aware, it's so easy to feel the emotions. When you get upset, you feel your stomach starts to change. You can feel the redness, the blood flow to your face if you're self-aware. You can feel also your vision getting very narrow vision, and you're getting tense. Your shoulders getting tense, and you can feel it all happening. So make sure you are self-aware enough to know how you're feeling, and then control it and respond. Okay, that's my number one tip. Number one, I've seen too many parents or even kids do it. Everyone, I see everyone do it. Hey, I do it as well, because I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. We're going to have our moments, but I'm a lot better than I used to be. So much better now, and I've been doing martial arts and really working on myself for decades. And I'm 57, going to be 58 years old. And so I spent a lot of time working on me. And when I was 19 years old is really when I purposed myself to improve myself. And I started doing a lot of reading. So I've been on this journey for a long time. But I'm not perfect. So I'll have those moments where I am not self-aware enough to realize that I'm losing my temper and I'm about to lose it, or that I've lost it. Sometimes I got to go back and apologize. But if we can, more often than not, train ourselves to be self-aware so that we know how we're feeling, especially when things are getting a little out of hand. So how far does something have to go before you are aware it's gone too far? Self-awareness. So number two, next thing is walking away is often the best response. And I'm thinking within the context of when I feel myself, losing control, I can feel my emotions building up, and for whatever reason, my child, my child or another child, if I'm a teacher, but as a parent, I feel my child's getting me upset. Sometimes the best thing for me to do is just walk away and just leave it alone, and come back later on when I've calmed down, because who knows what happened in the course of my day, right before there's an upset with me and my child. I don't know what's going. I'm emotionally. Maybe someone else has gotten me upset. Maybe I'm dealing with something with business, or maybe I've watched something that brought me to an emotional level, and then all of a sudden now my child did something that upset me, and I'm feeling my emotions getting where I know I can't control it. Sometimes the best thing is to simply walk away and get back to it later on. That might be the best response. So that's my number two. And number three, of course, guys, if you have your own, put it right below, comment section right below, or you can send it to me, email or text, but right below, you can do that. You can private message me, but I'd love to hear your tips. If I miss something here, I know I will. You guys have tips. You guys are wise out there. Some of you who have older kids, I know I've been working with children for many years, not only my own children. Did not cry. We are going to celebrate, can you believe, 25 years in Mount Laurel, working with families and children. So we've had thousands of kids come through our school, and I've worked with thousands of kids. And so there's tips. I have more tips in my head, I'm sure, but these are the 8 that I'm sharing with you today. And I know you guys have tips. And of course, if you want to find out about our class schedule, just go to donatokarate.com. Anyway, number 3, tackle one behavior or issue at a time. And if something comes up, deal with it in that moment. Of course, be in the right state of mind and the right emotional state, and make sure you're focused and there's an outcome. What's the outcome is to use that as a teaching opportunity for your child and just help get them back on track. But don't let this behavior or the issue get clouded and other issues coming up. Oh yeah, because I know you're not listening to me right now, but you're always never listening to me. Don't focus on the moment. Focus on what's happening right there in that moment. Tackle that behavior and that issue in present time, right there. Don't start bringing up things in the past or nothing like that. Just deal with it in that moment. That's something that I got to remember and not think, bring up old things, and it's that moment. Right now, you're not listening. Let's work on that right now. Let me help you listen right now. Right now, you're getting upset, so let me help you right now with that. Nothing from the past. Guys, that's so important. So that's my number 3. And number 4 is role model the behavior you would like to see in your child. This is so important. If you believe your child is very emotional, you need to model just your ability to control your emotions. If your child is being disrespectful, just generally the way they talk, the way they're talking or acting, or things they're doing, look at what you're doing. No matter what my children do or the students do, I first look at, I ask this question, are they learning that from me? Is there anything that I'm doing that's making them feel like it's okay for them to do or say what they're doing? So I need to really check myself first and make sure that I'm modeling what I need to see in them. So it's important that we do the best that we can as parents to reflect and look at what we're doing and saying, and really always making our mission to improve ourselves. And I think that constant never-ending improvement is for everyone, not just for our children. So we need to continue to look at how we're acting and how we're speaking and make sure we're being great role models for our own children. So if we see something in our child, make sure that we are modeling the behavior that we would like to see in our child. So that's my number 4. Number 5 is don't take it personal. When your child does something and misbehaves, and you might say to yourself, I know I struggled with this at one time, not anymore, because I've not take. I've gotten to that place where I don't take it personally. If a child does something, and there was a time I used to think that it was disrespectful. You're disrespecting me when you do that. Now, the actions, the behavior that they're doing might be disrespectful, but it's most often than not, it's not personal. They're not personally going out of their way necessarily to disrespect you and disrupt your day. And even if they say that they're doing it that way, deep down inside, we know that's not the case. There's something else going on. So we need to make sure we don't take it personal, that we look at the behavior and see it as an opportunity to educate our child, to help them become aware of how what they're doing, that behavior, basically it's doing them a disservice. It's hurting them, not us. Because there's going to come a time where your child's going to go out into the world on their own, ready or not. That's why it's important that we raise up our child in the way they should go. Because one day they will go out into the world, and we're going to do the best that we can to educate them and to teach them, to be a model for them. So when they do misbehave, we need to realize that it's not something against us. It's not something personal. It's just something they need to learn, and we need to help them. It becomes a teaching moment for them. So if we take it personal, then all of a sudden we get upset, we lose control, and we need to step up because we're no longer a help to our child. We're no longer in a teaching position. We're now in, let's say, we want to get back at our child for how dare they disrespect me, and I'm going to get back at them. We don't want that. That's doesn't solve anything, doesn't teach anything, and we need to not do that. So don't take it personal and really help them see it as a learning opportunity. Next thing, number 6, is aim for good enough. Forget about perfect. Don't think perfect is, you can strive for it, but really, parents, we need to, if your child is doing well, and we got to accept good enough. That's good enough, okay? If they're listening, okay. If they're not hurting themselves physically or hurting anyone else, if things are moving along, it's all a learning process. And let's not look for perfection. I see so many times parents, and I'll see it a lot, and I know I struggle with it as well, that we want, not only do we want our child to be good enough, especially when it comes to schoolwork, we want all our kids to have A's across the board, but not everyone's going to get A's. Not all our children are going to get A's across the board. Are they good enough to get through the class, or are good enough to get through what they need to get through? Because they're not going to be perfect. They're not going to get it right 100% of the time. So we parents need to really be realistic and help our children where they are, and allow them to do their best. And we have a saying at the Donald Cry Center that basically states this: do your best, forget the rest. Let them do their best, not my best or what I perceive should be their best. Their best is their best. And at any given moment, any one of us are doing our best. Even when we're doing awesome and great and everything's going awesome for us and great, we're right on point, we can always do better, right? Think about it. Even at my best, I can always do a little bit better, always. So our children, even at their best, they can always do a little bit better. Even at my worst, I can always do a little bit better. So it's always about you doing your best, your child doing their best. And their best is good enough. But we always know we can always do a little bit better. But we're not striving for perfection. Forget perfection. You can strive for it, but let's not expect perfection. Let's strive for doing our best, forgetting the rest, and that good enough is good enough. Okay, guys, so let's keep that in mind. I'm sure some of you guys probably have thoughts on that and positions on that. But when I'm running a class, we're talking about parenting, but I'm a teacher. I teach, hundreds of kids in the course of the week, at DKC. But even as a parent, I've come to this place where, this is a journey, and we're all on this journey. We have no one will ever arrive anywhere, and that's us, parents. No matter how old we are, we will never arrive. And so definitely for our children, this is a journey. It's a learning process. So let us keep that in mind. That it's a process. and everyone's learning. Everyone does their best. Forget everything else. Just do your best. Forget the rest. And more often than not, good enough is good enough. Okay, guys, so keep that in mind. And number 7 is don't underestimate the importance of taking care of yourself, self-care. Taking care of your body, yes, eating the right foods, getting the rest. Too many of us parents, we feed our children first, all levels and all aspects, emotionally, psychologically, and physiologically with food. We put them first, which I totally understand. But we also got to keep in mind we've got to take care of ourselves. As a matter of fact, we need to put ourselves first, because if we put ourselves last, then that will take its toll emotionally, psychologically, and physiologically. It will take its toll, and then we will become least effective in meeting the needs of our children and our family and our community. It's like being on the airplane. I don't know if you guys have flown before. When you get on, the flight attendant will always give their thing in the beginning when it comes to the oxygen mask. They always say, when the oxygen mask come on, put it on you first before you put it on your child. Because if you put it on your child and try to put it on your child and you lose oxygen and you pass out, you cease to be of use or help for anyone. So you must take care of yourself. So don't underestimate the value and the importance and the necessity of you taking care of you. Number 1. Okay, guys? So number 8 is this: have patience. Have patience. Again, the behavior, the change process of that behavior is a process. It's not an event. So make sure you're patient and know this is a process. And it's going to take time. You just need to be patient. And I jokingly say, hey, if your child still has not arrived to this the ability to control a behavior, then eventually you could just kick them out of the house. They're on their own. But all kidding aside, it is a process. We are all on a journey. We're all going through a process, learning. We all have behaviors that we want to get rid of, habits that we want to get rid of, and it's a process. We a little bit at a time, over days, weeks, months, and years, and even decades, we're working at growing and improving ourselves. So our children are no different. So let's keep in mind it's a process. The behavior will come, the change of behavior comes over time, and it's not an event. It's not gonna like a switch. Okay, now they know the behavior is wrong. It's a switch is done. No, it's a process. Okay, guys. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Again, if you have your tips, please share them. I'd love to hear what your tips are. I'm sure everyone in our community would love to hear your tips. And if you want to find out about the work that I'm doing at Donato Karate Center, it's just awesome, powerful work there, working with families, partnering up with parents, and working together with them to help raise up their child in the way they should go. And we're teaming up and just encouraging each other, holding each other up as we meet the needs of our children and raise them up in the way they should go. And it's not an easy job. It's a tough job being a parent. The struggle is real, right, parents? So anyway, we're doing great work at DKC. If you want to find out about the work we're doing there, see our class schedule, go to donatokarate.com or give us a call at 856-235-0414. Okay, guys, I'm going to have my lunch right now, and then I'll get back to work, getting ready to get to DKC and teach to classes today. Very exciting week. We got belt promotions. Very exciting week. So, guys, hope to see you guys on the mats if you're a student. If you're not a student, be a student. Go to donatokarate.com. Find out what you can do to become a student. Okay, guys, have a great day, and see you guys next time.